All right, guys, so we done streamed 6 games with the Mevo Start, and I thought I'd come back one last time, give you guys my final thoughts on this thing and show you guys a little bit of the footage. All right, so first and foremost, out of those 6 games, 3 of them was in 720p, and the other 3 was in 1080. And the reason for that is because you're always at the mercy of your cell phone signal. You see what I mean? So depending on where you are, if you got good signal, you can get 1080. If your signal is bad, you can get 720. So I know for us here at our actual home field, I can get 1080p because my signal is maxed out. You know what I'm saying? 5G is all maxed out, so I can get 1080. But when we travel to certain other teams' fields, you know, I was getting 720p because the signal was not that great. So, you know, that's just something to throw out there. But one of the main things, well, kind of like two of the main things, but it's kind of wrapped in one, if this finna make sense. What I really like about this camera is the fact that you can stream the game and then you can save that game to your memory card, or you can just go and record the game and you don't have to stream. That's what I really like about it. So you can just set this camera up, put it out there, and just record the game. You don't got to stream or do anything, save it to your memory card, and you can come back and share it later. You know what I'm saying? Or you can stream the game, and when the game is done, it'll give you the option to still save it to the memory card. So regardless of the fact, I feel like you get to record the game twice, because on Game Changer, it saves the game in Game Changer under the team, right? And then you get to save it on your memory card. So I feel like I just feel like it's a great setup. The microphone quality on here sounds good as well, and again, you won't hear the microphone quality here on this video in the B-roll because I cut it out because it had music playing and all of that stuff, but the audio quality on here sounds really good. Now let's just go into a couple things that, you know, I get a little confused about when I'm using it, and that's really the video like settings. All right, now I understand how to use cameras and phone cameras and all that stuff, and I even understand how to use this camera because it's just like any other camera, right? But what happens at the game is that sometimes the sun will be behind a cloud, or sometimes the sun will be shining too bright, or to be facing directly at the camera, and I always catch myself having to adjust the camera, you know what I'm saying, as far as the settings. So sometimes I have the white balance in daylight, then as soon as the sun go behind a cloud, I got to switch it to cloudy because it changes the way the camera looks, and it also changes how people view it, who's watching the stream. So, you know, once I kind of get better with dialing those settings in, because again, we only got 3 games left in the high school softball season, but my son, his tournaments just started, so I'll be able to use this camera even longer. So I'm gonna continue to try to dial my settings in, but that's really one of the biggest things that I get a little confused about, is because I can go in auto and let it do its thing, and then I feel like the auto is kind of shaky. It like works, but it's like hit or miss. And then once you go into manual and start setting it up yourself, any little small change that you notice, whether the sun behind a cloud or the sun facing the camera or the sun shooting from a different angle, you got to go in there and start messing with the settings if you want to keep that stream looking perfect. You know what I'm saying? But auto does get the job done. Let me make sure I say that auto does get the job done. And there has been times throughout these 6 games where I was able to just set it and forget it, and it looked good all the way through. You know what I mean? Because the weather was doing the right thing. Another thing I like about this whole setup, man, is the fact that it's very small and it's compact, and you know, it's very quick and easy. As long as you got the right mount, you can just throw it up on the fence, and you can be, you know, you can have this thing set up in under 5 minutes. From turning your phone on to turning the camera on to getting it set up and ready to press live, you can do that in like under 5 minutes, and I really think that's good. So what I normally do is I get to the game and I already have it set up on the fence. I already look through the phone, make sure I got my angles and everything right. Then I turn the camera off, and then right before the game starts, I just turn it back on, go into the Game Changer app, boom, press the button, go live, and I'm already up and running. You know what I'm saying? One of the last things that I want to kind of touch on real quick before we get out of here, man, is the fact that the battery life on this thing is crazy. I really like it. I can get a whole hour and 45-minute game in and still have about 2 bars of battery life, 2.5 bars of battery life left on this camera. So I can go out on a limb and say that you don't have to actually bring a power brick and all of that stuff and charge it. You don't have to do that. You can just charge it the night before, and it should last you the whole game. But I will say, if you're playing like a full tournament, then bring something with you to charge this thing up. Now, if you just want to save yourself the hassle of having to charge in general, bring your little power bank with you, plug it in, and charge it up while it's streaming the game, so that by the time all the games are done, it'll still be pretty much fully charged, and you'll be good to go for the next game. You don't have to worry about coming home and putting it back on the charger. You can just let it, you know, rock out like that at the game, and you'll be good to go. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to jump in here and give you guys my final thoughts on this, man, because we've streamed 6 games, and hopefully throughout this little quick video, you guys saw some of the game footage, as well as, you know, just kind of, you know, just bringing you guys into this whole game streaming and recording thing, man. Because again, if you somebody out there who, your kids play sports or something like that, or you just love to stream the games and you want to record sports, I feel like this Mevo Start, this setup right here is good. And I can only imagine, the other Mevos that done came out since this one right here, the quality on those, I guarantee you it just looks even better. But for the most part, this little camera right here is the perfect setup right here. This setup right here, this phone and this little camera, this setup right here is all you need to take to the game, to record the game and live stream the game and save the game. That's all you need, just this, and it's gonna work flawlessly well. Oh, you also need a fence mount, but it works flawlessly well. And as you can see by the footage in the video, it just looks really nice. Oh, one more thing too is that this camera is always going to be exposed to the elements, so it gets dirty quickly from people sliding in the home, depending on where you put the camera. But it gets dirty really quickly, and a lot of the pitches, depending on where you got the camera set, it can, the ball can hit the fence and shake your camera, and all that stuff, man. But I feel like it's rugged enough to withstand some of the elements and stuff like that. Now, I've had to wipe this camera down a handful of times because of the dust and the dirt, and you're always going to catch yourself having to clean the lens, because I'm telling you, when the dust and the dirt starts to come up, it's going to, cloud up. It's going to cloud up the lens, and all that's going to kind of make the lens dusty. So you're going to always have to do that. So I keep a little rag in my bag so I can clean it off and stuff like that. And that just leads me to the next point. Stay tuned, because I'm going to give you guys a quick little video on my camera bag that I take for streaming and taking photos at the game, and just show you guys what I have in that bag as well. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But anyway, the main purpose of this video was to show you guys that I have been using this thing 6 games in. I streamed 6 games. I want you guys to see some of the video quality and just kind of give you guys some of my thoughts on it, man. But for the most part, this has been a quick video on the Mevo Start. Hopefully you guys found this video to be helpful, man. And if you found it helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to get up out of here, man. Peace.